Hello. I think that we are live. I have once again forgotten to set up part of the stream before going live, so I'm just gonna quickly do that. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Alright, now I just have chat in front of me, so whenever anyone pops in and says hello, I should be able to respond a bit more quickly. Okay, let's get on to our normal live scene. So, as you can see, today's goals are to finish the line art and to lay down some flats. So, in case anyone doesn't know about the term flats, which I could also totally be using wrong, let's be real, flats are just your basic colors. So if I want the hair to be pink, I'll put just pink, no shading, just pink. If I want the skin to be like a peach color on the skin, no shading, just the peach. I think you'll see once we get there. Hopefully we get there today, because the past couple times I've been like, yeah, we're gonna finish the line art, and well, we're here. So let's get started. Okay, I think we have a little bit more lining to do. At the very least, we need to clean up. There's like a little bit of junk on my screen. Oops. At the very least, we have just a little bit of like cleaning up to do on the line art. Oh my gosh, do you ever just like completely forget how to speak English or whatever your native language is? Some days it just like goes right out the window for me. I'm like tongue-tied, the words just don't come out. But anyway, okay, well, I think maybe what we'll do is we will clean up the lines a bit here, and then we'll kind of gauge where we need to be. Also, hello, welcome to chat. I do see that we have a viewer. Feel free to say hi or just chill. Either is fine. Anywho, let's see. Okay, yes, so we're going to just clean up the lines. Oh, okay. I'm gonna pop you guys. I'm gonna pop into our little other scene here. Oh, that's not the one I should use. I should just use this one. Sorry, I designed a new stream theme. I am navigating the new stream theme. On the off chance anyone is wondering, I used Canva. There's a little tutorial on YouTube by a VTuber, I believe. And it was really good and really easy to follow. I didn't end up watching all of it because it was really kind of long, and I just wanted to kind of like get the gist of things versus like I don't know if this is relatable for a lot of people. Oh, that's right. We were like, should we do the hands? I think it looks better with the hands off. Yeah, okay. But anyway, I don't know if this is relatable for a lot of people, but I do feel like, for me, I like tutorials. I find them very helpful, but I want to learn things. That looks so cool. I want to learn things on my own, so I like to watch just enough to understand and then kind of figure out on my own, which gets me in trouble a lot, I feel, because I'm not great at figuring things out. Like, that ain't me. Okay, well, we put everything on a different layer anyway, so if something's messed up, it's fine. I'm going to merge all the shading together, except for maybe the eyes, because that might be a little harder to remove. So, then I think, yeah, that's actual lines. So let me just double check. Yep. And then this is the actual line art. So we'll merge it all together. Actually, that might not be a good idea. I know I change my mind on things a lot, but there's a reason for it. If I merge everything together and then I need to erase something on it, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. Because then I'll be erasing things that I don't want erased, or I'll have to be extra careful, and I don't want to do that. So, okay. I think what we'll do is we will maybe take layers that are supposed to be kind of together. So like I'll take the face and the body and the arms, which are all, you know, like one kind of like color grouping, and I'll merge those together. These also go on there. And I suppose this would also go, I'm gonna say that goes there, yeah. I was debating whether or not it should be on with all the other lines, but I don't really think so. Okay. Now, I'll merge the dress together. There's a little more dress somewhere. Yep, okay, right here. And this actually has some dress on it. So I'm turning off these layers. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and just do a big circle, copy and paste, and then I'll erase it from that other layer. No, I'll turn off this layer first. I'll erase it from that layer, and then I'll take the layer that we did the copy and paste from and merge it onto the dress layer. I guess there was more on there, huh? Well, for now we can merge this part onto the rest of the dress layer. And then we'll just kind of do the same thing for this, I suppose. Oops. And I'm gonna turn off these layers and just make sure, yep, that's the only part that's on there. This must be on another layer too, because there are some lines that I can see, but they just must also be on another layer. Because if I take them off, it's... Huh. Okay. What is this? There must be nothing there. Sorry, sometimes I have a layer and there's legitimately nothing on it. Where has this gone? Uh-oh, we're missing something. It's not showing up. Yeah, sometimes this happens where there's something on this layer, very obviously. And it just doesn't want to show up, which is not good. I think potentially there's just an issue with Procreate right now. Well, I don't know what to do about that. guess... Well, it must not be that important because it looks fine without it, so... Okay, I'll just leave it alone. That's good enough. Okay, I'm going to pop you guys to the other screen again really quick because I just want to check to make sure everything's okay with that weird layer issue. Okay, give me 1 second here. Yeah, I mean, they look the same to me. Okay, we're good. We're safe. Alright, everything's fine. That's so weird, I hated that. I do not like that at all. Oh boy. Okay, well, we'll do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn off these other layers again. Procreate, don't be weird on me again. I'm gonna freak out. Okay. Wait, literally, where did the front of her hair go? Is that what is missing? Oh no, it's over here. Okay. So this needs to be moved up to the top. Sorry, sometimes I weirdly rest my wrist on the iPad and it it tells me don't do that by not reading the input correctly. Okay, well these two layers seriously appear to be blank. So weird. Yeah, okay. Unless there's like something... No, okay. Well, I'll delete them then. Okay, okay, yeah. I am missing some flowers that I'll have to put back in there, and we have to put the eyeball on there. So actually there is a little bit more line work to be done. So I'm gonna hide you guys one more time, and I'm gonna go steal the sketch from one of the other ones because I deleted it at one point and I was like, we don't need the sketch anymore. That one doesn't have it. Oh, okay, I think this one does. It does. So I'll copy this layer. And I will pop you back. Okay. So now we're back on the outline, and we're still going to keep with the dry ink brush. I might switch to like a actual flower brush, we'll kind of see. I have tried that before though, and I didn't like it. I'm actually going to put the sketch above everything. I'll just use normal color. Let's see here. Okay, so I think you guys can see when I draw flowers, I pretend I know what I'm doing and then I just bullshit. So we'll kind of see how this comes out. Maybe I should kind of turn off everything but the sketch. That kind of seems like maybe the way to go for these. And I should also probably be on the layer that I created to draw the flowers. And maybe a bigger brush size. I really love this playlist, but I was noticing the last VOD has partially muted audio because I think a couple of the songs in it maybe just aren't actually copyright friendly. Before I started streaming on Twitch, I went and scoured YouTube for like streamer friendly playlists, and maybe I mentioned this, but I realized that I'm a lot pickier about music than I thought, because usually I kind of put on like a Spotify playlist or just kind of let Spotify run through an artist that I like. Like, I really like to listen to like Yo Kamiyama or Kitani Tatsuya while I draw. And there are a couple others. I like Kenshi Yonezu too, who sings one of the I think it's, I was gonna say Monster High. It's not Monster High, it's My Hero Academia. Same vibe? No, I'm just kidding. But he sings I think Peace Sign, that one. And I had liked a lot of his other stuff, like when he did Vocaloid and when he did Yankee. That was such a good album. And finding out that he had like really gotten big and branched out into like anime openings and stuff, I was so happy. And when I went to Japan, I went to I think it's called Don Quixote or something. It's something along those lines. It's a big like I guess it's sort of like a department store. It just has like a bunch of like random miscellaneous stuff. I guess they don't really sell furniture though. But I went into one and they just had like a CD player with Yankee on, like the whole album just playing through, and I was like, what? That's so cool. I was so happy. Cause like, I mean, when you're like, when you don't leave America, like, and I'm saying this, you know, not for everyone, but for myself, you know, like, I don't travel out of the country very often. You don't realize like who's actually popular overseas. Like, I'm so happy when I find out like the artists that I love are like big and doing well. Even just like a couple months ago, like Walters, I found, okay, the way I found like music from Walters was so weird. I used to do like CMVs, and CMVs always get copyright claims on YouTube because, you know, like they're using the whole song, and you can argue it's transformative or whatever, or it's parody or whatever, but it uses the song in its entirety. I don't think there's much of an argument that it shouldn't get a copyright claim. I used to think otherwise. I bit my tongue. But now I don't. So I went on like the royalty-free music archives and I was looking through stuff and I found a Walters song. And it's the one that sounds like a dad singing to his daughter. I forget what the song is called, but I've always thought that it sounds like that. I think it's called I Love You So. And I downloaded a bunch of these like weird royalty-free songs that I found on there. And they're probably not actually royalty-free. They might have been at the time, but they probably aren't anymore. And I put them on a playlist. And I had an Aurora song on there too, like Running with the Wolves or whatever was on there too. And I would play, not Desert Soul, but Blade and Soul while I was just like listening to these weird songs. And then I, like, when I ended up finally like getting Spotify, because it took me like forever, because I was like, I don't want to pay for that. I ended up looking up Walters, and I was really sad because they had like stopped making music. They had like Corduroy at the time, but it wasn't the same. Even though the Corduroy songs are really good too. But yeah, and then TikTok made them popular and they released new music, and I was so happy to see like more people listening to their songs and loving their songs. Like, I think this whole thing where people are like not happy when the artists they like blow up because it's not the same anymore, it's not just my thing anymore, is so dumb. Like, don't you want them to make money so that they can make music? Don't you want to like share that love of music with other people? Like, I'm so happy when I tell someone like, oh, listen to this song, it's so good, and then they like it, or like a song comes up that I don't really like but I know someone else will like, and I send it to them and they're like, it was so good, I really liked it, you know? Like, music is so like beautiful and special, and I just think it's sad that people don't want it to be shared. Like, who cares if, you know, people find out about your fave on TikTok and your fave's popular now? Oh well. That leaf doesn't look good. I'm not sure about this flower because I think it looks a little too cartoony, so I think I might just kind of play with that a bit more. I grew up around all these flowers because of my grandma's garden, and now I don't remember how to draw like any of them. I don't think a little bleeding heart looks right there. Ah, this is not on Drawing Assist. We've made a grave mistake. Okay, well, oops. I'll go ahead and I'll throw Drawing Assist back on, and we'll have a fun new opportunity to draw more flowers and pretend we're not immensely frustrated. Isn't that fun? I've noticed recently, since I've left my house a couple times, there are like a lot of oak trees that are just like dead or dying, and it's really sad. Like, there are like these just like huge oaks, you know, like older than me, and I'm old. I don't know if I've mentioned this every single stream, but and it's just sad. Like, certainly, you know, oh, you don't want to see that. I guess it's just sad, but I don't know what realistically as an individual like you can do to save the trees at this point. feel like I made this weird. Okay. I don't draw a lot of like foliage, so I'm not great at drawing it, but you know, you gotta try new things. I think I kind of want to stick to maybe more like petals. I feel like I want this drawing to be like softer. That also looks like a leaf. Petals I feel don't really have like this harsh edge to them, just kind of a roundness on a lot of them. Looks like corn. Yesterday I went to the state fair for the first time since I was like very young, and I ate roasted corn and it was so good. I haven't eaten corn in like months because it does not, like, my stomach doesn't like, first of all, it doesn't like any food. I'm gonna be 100% honest. My stomach touches food and it's like, hey, you know what? I didn't like that interaction. It was very awful for me and I wish you hadn't done that. But in particular, like foods like corn, just no. But I was like, I'm here, I haven't come here in forever, I'm not going back. So I had some corn. It was so good. Like, I feel like there's no better time or place to eat something like that than at the state fair. It'll never be better. But I was terrified of the crowd, which rightfully so. Crowds are scary. I mean, like, no one's gonna hurt you. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't. I said that, but I immediately take it back. Someone in a crowd maybe might hurt you. Who knows? I don't know what kind of flower that is. Ugh. I just feel like this just isn't coming out the way I want it to come out, so I'm just gonna doodle. I feel like sometimes if you just kind of go for it, you'll get what you want. Oops. Adjust your controls. You've foiled me once again. Oh no. Okay. How is that? Probably it's not gonna work because guess who turned off the actual thing? Me. Okay, it looks pretty cool. I feel like we're almost there. I'm gonna keep this one because I think it could be good. But I'm gonna do one more. Probably like 15 more. I'm also gonna shift in my chair. And I am gonna turn the iPad in 15 different directions while I do it. Okay. I just realized I can put my feet on my desk, and this is a game changer. Okay, and we do have drawing assist on, which is cool. So, I'm just gonna start doodling the roses again. You know, this morning I woke up and I was like, I have this topic for stream. I think I know actually what I'm going to talk about today. And as usual, the train has like left the station, derailed, there's been a horrible incident. I'm the only casualty, but it doesn't feel great. So instead we'll just talk about art, which is probably what you want to hear about anyway. I think there are like a million ways to draw flowers, and just drawing a bunch of little wiggly lines should be a perfectly acceptable form of a way to draw flowers. I am not wrong. You cannot convince me I'm wrong. If you think that I'm wrong, please don't actually send me your complaints. I don't want to hear them on this particular topic. The too much gene is kicking in. Also, they look like cinnamon rolls, and they're making me very hungry. Listen, okay, I know that recently every stream I've been talking about my grandma, and it is because I am my grandma's biggest stan. I think she's great. But the fact that they look like cinnamon rolls reminds me that, one, my grandma makes the best cinnamon rolls. Two, when I was a kid, she used to make this thing that she would call monkey bread. I'm sure she still makes it. But I just, like, I would go to my grandma's house from like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning until like 5 or 6 in the evening when my mom would come pick me up. Because my mom is like a working mom. She still works. And so my grandma would like take care of me and my sister. And she would make us monkey bread. And monkey bread is like, you know those little like metal pie tins? So you take one of those and you cut up like Pillsbury biscuits into it, and then you make like the cinnamon stuff to drizzle over it. I think it's water, cinnamon, and some orange juice, and then you drizzle that over it and you bake it in the oven for like the time it takes to bake biscuits. And it's so stupidly good that I feel like it's stupidly bad for you. Stupidly good. Also, you should put butter on it. And I think about it a lot, but I'm always too lazy to like make it. And also, I don't do great with bread. So, welcome to dietary restrictions, my life. But yeah. I think about it a lot. You know, I say that, but this morning I had the breakfast of champions of cotton candy. I had cotton candy sad Lipton noodle soup, which is, I don't want the Lipton noodle soup broth, so I pour out 99% of it, and then I just sadly eat the noodles covered in black pepper. You'd think I live in the Great Depression, but people in the Great Depression would have eaten the soup broth. My sister calls it my sad pasta. Which is, you know what? It's accurate. Gesture controls are like actually making me angry now. I'm gonna turn them off. I'll not turn them off, but you know what I mean. You can see what I mean, right, guys? No, that's too much. What happens if I put a couple back here? Okay, those are literally just scribbles, but, you know. Okay, I'm starting to like, it's starting to come along. I'm gonna start another layer because I have no self-control. Okay. No. No, first, okay. It may be crazy, but I feel like without gesture control, the lines got way thicker. Well, see, now it looks like I'm trying to draw weird little legs on it. And maybe I could. I just don't want to right now. Nope. Did you guys hear about the Gabby Hanna thing? Like every couple of months, she pops up with something new, and I'm not saying that like mental illness is an issue or not even like issue for Gabby Hanna, but like my problem with it is that she's kind of like cried wolf so many times at this point that I don't know whether or not to believe her. Either way though, 100% it was super fucked up that some guy just like went to her house. Like, you? Who does that? Who just like, I mean, I know people do that, but like, if you ever do that or like have any inkling of a thought that like, oh my god, my beloved influencer, like, I don't think this was his thought process, but like, if you're ever like, oh my god, my beloved influencer needs me, they need my help, I'm gonna go to their house and help them by getting them their medication, by doing this or that for them. No, stop it. You get some help. Like, that is awful. Like, I do think, like, you know, that whole situation with Rice Gum, she was like unfairly treated, but I also think it's been a really long time since that happened, and it's very obviously still a problem for her, so she needs to go get some help with that. Like, if an incident like is affecting you still 6 months later, I think, then it meets the criteria for PTSD. So like potentially just, you know, Gabby has like adjustment disorder, or, well, I guess adjustment disorder comes first, right? It's adjustment disorder and then PTSD. So potentially, you know, Gabby has something from that. Like, girl, just, you know, get offline, get some real help. Don't let me, your internet therapist, you know, dictate your life, but girl, get some help. I know she's never gonna watch this, but like, I just, like, ooh. I don't know. I don't know on that one. But, like, I think the best thing that anyone can do with what happened with Gabby, right, is, hey, if your life's looking like that, if you're having some of what Gabby's having, or you know, presenting to have online, you get some help. You go find someone who can help you get some help, because that's not good, baby. That's not good. And like, not in a mean way. I'm not saying in a mean way, but that's a very serious mental health crisis. Like, what is being presented, and it needs to be taken seriously and not turn into a joke. Like, I worry so much these days that like the online space just takes things and turns them into jokes. Like, take like Tourette's, for instance. It just takes it and turns it into a joke. And I don't think, like, so here's the thing, okay? I had Tourette's. I have tics. Because the way I could be like uninformed now, because I never really like stayed up to date with the information. But to meet the criteria for a Tourette's diagnosis, you have to tick a certain amount of times within a certain amount of space. You can't like go periods without ticking, like for the span of however long. I think it's like a 6-month period you have to tick. I want to say every day, but I think that might be wrong. I think it might be like, I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point is, like, as someone who dealt with it and it's, you know, like eased off as I become an adult. It just happens when I get, you know, like super stressed or overwhelmed or like randomly. Like at first I saw all these people and I was like, oh good, like, you know, it brings awareness. It shows that like, you know, it's not just a bunch of people like swearing, or like it's not all like this downtrodden depressing disease. Like you don't have to be embarrassed about it, you know, like it's real people and not just some guy in a documentary that you saw once. But then like I talked to like, it must have been my sister about it, and she was like, well no, I don't think that's good. Like, because I my initial thought was like, well, even if it's, you know, like people faking it, it's people like bringing awareness to it, right? But my thoughts have completely changed. Like, if you decide to fake a disorder, like especially a disorder that like fucked up my life, hey, fuck you. Like, it sucks to not be able to like control like the noise you make or the movements you make. It's embarrassing. It makes you not want to go places. It's really upsetting. It's painful, and sometimes it's like, in a way, almost traumatic. Like, it's really scary. I've had tics where like I feel like I can't breathe because like my body is just like spasming or moving. And again, it's really like died off for me. It doesn't happen like, you know, on a daily basis anymore. I'm much more comfortable and like, yeah, okay, if we're in the car and we're about to go somewhere and I start ticking like crazy, I don't want to go in there anymore. I'm gonna ask someone else, like, I know we were gonna go in together and like, you know, wait for like our food together or whatever, but can you be the one to go inside and grab it? Like, you know, or can I wait in the car while you go run this errand because I am having tics, you know? Like, because it is embarrassing. And it can stop you from doing things that you want to do. Like, for me, my head moves a lot and it makes it super hard to read. Like, I used to love reading. I don't read anymore. There are times when I can't draw because I'll be ticking too much, and it really sucks. So yeah, and like, I don't even think Tourette's is like the worst thing to fake, and it's so hard. Like, I see like fake disorder cringe videos. Like, I think unless it's been like proven that that person faked it, like, you know, like Ticks and Roses or whatever, like that's pretty easy to prove that they faked it. But like, unless it's been proven, right? Don't just call out some random kid on the internet, because tics are, they vary so much from person to person. Like, it's a really hard disorder, unfortunately, to know if this person is faking. And someone put out, it must have been like Spill or one of those like big drama channels, put out a video about a Korean guy who was faking it for years and no one knew. Even people with Tourette's were like, yeah, he has Tourette's. Because it's like, it's a hard disorder to fake, or well, I guess it's an easy disorder to fake, unfortunately. And like, the other thing too is like, you don't want to be the asshole that tells some guy who's like been dealing with it their whole life or their whole childhood or their whole whatever, like, yeah, that's not real. And like, as someone who dealt with that, right, even when I was like in the throes of it, like in the thick of it, there were times when I was like, am I faking this? Like, is this real? Am I really doing this? And like, yeah, it's every time I do that, it's not me choosing to make those movements or make those noises or do that action or whatever. It's just happening. Like, but, and it's so frustrating because I think, especially now, the internet has kind of created this culture of like it's like imposter syndrome with your illness. It's so dumb. But yeah, the mental illness faking is stupid as hell too. Like, listen, it's not cool to be mentally ill. It sucks. I have been struggling with my mental health since I was like a little kid, and I can 100% say like it gets better. It ebbs and flows. It's like anything in life, you know, like you have good days, you have bad days. But like a lot of people, I'm not going to say everyone, I'm going to say a lot of people with mental illness, like mental illness on any level, would give anything to not be, you know, struggling with whatever they're struggling with, you know, just to be quote unquote normal. So to have people who don't suffer with those issues, you know, pretend to be struggling with them for whatever reason, is don't do that. Just don't do it. It's not okay. And I think, you know, people who fake disorders have something. I'm not saying this in a mean way. I think there's something wrong because, like, you know, otherwise, why would you want or need to do that? Oh, it kind of looks cool like that. Dang. But then I'm gonna have to do so much work. It's so much work. I watched too much 90 Day Fiancé, and now sometimes I say machi, and it's not good for me. Okay. Well, this is what we're going with. I think. We'll figure it out. Also, welcome to my stream where I find a new random thing to complain about every day. I don't know, I think I kind of wanna... Okay, listen. So I like that. It's just the issue that I have with it is... Is this down? Yeah. Oops. My problem is I always feel like it can be better. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Fix it. Then I go on Twitter too, and like all my like mutuals and just every artist you see is so wonderful and amazing, and you're like, how? I mean, I'm sure it's like hours and hours of practice, but also, how? I should just put the other layer on, shut up and leave it. Yeah, okay, I think... So I don't need this layer, but I do need this layer. Okay. My concern on this layer in particular is like, it's sloppy. It's like really sloppy. So have to see. And I feel like something's missing. Yeah, I do need this layer. Okay. There we go. There it is. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna hide this green again. Okay. I just don't want to show my gallery. Again, there's nothing bad in there. It's just, you know, I've showed it on stream before. It's messy. Okay. Well, I think what I might want to do is keep all these flower layers and then just kind of go like one by one. I'm not sure if I want to make them like crystally flowers. Oh, hi, welcome. I'm glad you came to relax. But yeah, so I'm kind of thinking the roses, I'm not sure if I want to do them as crystal flowers or just like regular like full color roses. So we'll get there when we get there. We are working on just kind of like a random piece, so I'm sort of adding details as I go and just making it up. So if it looks good in the end, it looks good in the end, and if it doesn't, oh well. Okay, I'm gonna turn the eyeball layer back on and fix that up really quick. So I need to lower the opacity here to make it so that I can outline it. That is not very spherical. You know what? I think that's an okay shape. So I'm gonna run with it, and if it turns out it's not, I will fix it later. As long as I just kind of keep the shapes sort of consistent in here, it should be okay. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll go up here and I'll add in some lines. I'm gonna put drawing assist on. Okay. So this part should be white. And then this should be iris. And this should be black, I think. Okay, so I will now just kind of erase where I got outside the lines. And then on the new layer, I'm gonna go lighter, I think, on this. Oops. I can absolutely not get a proper angle. Oh well, close enough. I think actually I might put on the drawing guide. This way the lines will be nice and straight. They might not line up with the ones that I put on the iris, but that's okay. I just kind of want to get them to be somewhat even. And that's probably good for that. Okay. I am a little concerned that potentially the face doesn't have enough, like, lines. But I think what I'm gonna do is just sort of leave it for now. And I can kind of come back to that as I need to, but I'm gonna delete the sketch layers. Again, maybe we won't need them this time. And then I will go through, we'll start by turning these layers off, figuring out where I need to merge, if I need to merge anything else. I think actually we're okay there. And I can merge these two face layers. I'm gonna keep the eyes on a separate layer, just so that it's a little easier for me. And this is a lot of layers for this, but we'll still put down the flats and see where that gets us. Okay, so this untitled color palette at the top is kind of what I wanted to work off of. I'm not sure that I'm gonna end up sticking with it, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure. Okay. Let's just run with it. We'll take the purple in the middle. Oh wait, okay. I lied. We need to clean up the line art. Okay, hiding the screen for 1 second because I'm going to go into the gallery and just, every time I do this, all I'm doing is duplicating the artwork so that if I mess up, I don't have to go back and redo everything that I messed up. Okay. So now I'm just gonna erase where these lines shouldn't be. Okay. Let's see here. So you wouldn't see these lines through the hair, so I'm not planning to make it see-through there. And then this piece of the dress, I'm actually going to need to, yep, this is my hair layer. So all I'm doing is just filling this in a bit, because I'm going to take off a piece of that hair. Yes, I've made the mistake so many times that if I don't do it now, I know I'll regret it, so I do it every time. Okay, so now we'll just quickly take off this little piece of the dress and make sure that line that I just added in actually works okay there. That seems alright. I'm not too mad at it, so I'm gonna leave it. And we can always add some extra shading. let's see here. Okay. Now there are going to be a bunch of lines on the dress, I bet. But what I might end up doing is just putting the roses over everything in that color so that I don't have to deal with it. The only issue is the petals and the hair. I might not be able to do that. Well, we'll leave it alone for now. We can erase it later. Okay. So now I'm going to go into a different brush set. This is the Azzy's pack. These brushes are free on like the Procreate.org or whatever. And they are really good. I just need to find the, here we go, color flat hard. So I'm gonna start just coloring the dress. My plan is kind of to do like dark colors and a dark background so that it kind of looks like everything is coming out of the darkness. But I've also tried that before and it hasn't gone well, so we'll see. Did I not turn on drawing? I didn't turn on drawing assist. Drawing assist is super helpful in that I don't have to do anything twice. As long as I actually turn it on, though. We missed a line. This one. I feel like coloring is just very cathartic. It's always just like nice until your hand starts hurting though. There's actually just the tiniest little gap here that's supposed to be there, so I should make sure that I actually leave it. Oops, and that's the color and not the eraser. Alright, I'm gonna mute for just one second. Okay, and let me... There we go, we're back. have everything on my laptop, but I unfortunately have like the way I record or screen record to my laptop is with a program called Reflector 4, which makes screen recording very easy from the iPad to the computer, but it does have this weird little thing where it comes up in an iPad window, like shaped window, and you cannot minimize that window. It's just there. You can kind of drag it out of the way, but it's always partially showing, and it's always very in the way. It doesn't matter where you put it, it's in the way. So it's like, I like the program. I'd recommend the program. It's a great investment for $20, but also please let me minimize the window. And also, it could just be me. It could be me, I could be the idiot. Like 9 out of 10 times, it's me, I'm the idiot. Alright, I accidentally picked up the white. I don't know if it's actually better than screen mirroring to the Mac. So, because I've always used like a PC for a computer, and then I only just started with the iPad a year or two ago. So I'm not sure. Is screen mirroring from a Mac, like to a Mac, is it like really bad? Oh, that sucks so bad. Yeah, I don't know. If you have the cash for it, I'd say try Reflector 4. It also does have a like 7-day free trial, so you could give it a go and see if you like it. And within that time, you could probably make like a couple like speed paints or videos or whatever you like to do with it. I do think it has a watermark on it, but you know what? I have a watermark on like all my YouTube videos because I just refuse to pay for KineMaster, and no one has said anything to me. No one watches them, but also no one said anything. Procreate does record for you, but it records in time lapses, so they are like shorter and they don't show your movements. So a lot of people don't like them as much as a like speed paint, and then you have to go into other programs to add music. So it's like 50-50 on, you know, whether or not you want to use the actual recording from Procreate. I mean, same for me. No one has said anything bad about it, but I do think, like whenever I look at like the bigger art channels, they tend to use screen record so that they can get all like the details of where they're zooming in. And then I feel like they tend to get more traction that way. But I'm also like, hey man, my screen recordings, they take up way too much space. So I don't want to do that. I'll just stream it on Twitch, and then I'll steal the recording that I made from Twitch. It is a mood. I'm so glad though that like all these art programs have a time lapse thing, because I grew up on like Paint Tool Sci, and that did not have a time lapse. I don't know that it does at all even yet, but hey, one day they'll grant Sci users the ability, and they can join us. You know what? Pencil and paper is kind of the best though, because then you like really learn. Like digital has merits too, obviously, and I think it had like you still had to do a lot more. But I totally cheat. I totally cheat in Procreate. I'm like, oh, the symmetry tool. Let me never turn it off. And I don't think I've learned a single thing about making my work like actually symmetrical on my own. I feel like I go back to traditional, and I'm like, what is this mess that I drew? I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of confused on where my flowers end and where my dress begins, but I'm going to make it up as I go. Okay, so the dress is done with the flat. And I will put the skin tone underneath, I think. I do have a color that I usually use for skin tone. I might end up playing around with it more later, but I think I'm just gonna stick with my standard that I've been using. Wait, where is my standard that I've been using? Ah, this one, okay. This is what I've been using. There's this trick that I've seen where you go into the hair and you kind of blend the colors a little, so I'm gonna put this pretty high. Oh, it's not on assist, and that's why I'm thinking it's funky. Okay. Now we'll make it much, much smaller. The last big drawing I did Doflamingo, and I kept the background color to the color I was actually planning on using, and I think that was a good decision, but I also am just not sure that I want to actually go with black on this one, and the lines are dark, so until I have the flats on, it might really throw me off. I'll probably change it once I have them down. But until then, I think I'm just gonna kind of stay with the white background. And I did not erase that. This one, okay. This is also not erased, so we'll take care of that. For the longest time I was using the standard round brush for laying down flats and most of my color stuff. But I was noticing that sometimes it would just randomly lose opacity, and I would have to go over it an extra time or more, just duplicate the layer a couple of times. And I was getting so annoyed that I just started using a different brush. I'm assuming it had everything to do with my Apple Pen just not liking me a couple of times, but I also didn't want to put up with it, so changed brushes. Okay, and just want to make sure that I get everything filled in. Luckily there's not much of my like skin tone places, so I don't have to spend a lot of time on like one color, but you know. Like, in the end, you can just erase, you know? You get it out of the lines, you can erase, but I really love that undo tool. It is a bad habit for me to just go back, hit the undo tool, and mess with that. Oops, I used the wrong purple. Oops, and we went into that gap that I was saying I wasn't supposed to go into. I also am on the wrong layer. Okay. I've been on the wrong layer for a while now. Well. Let's just fix this gap and then get the right color and go to the right layer maybe. Okay. Now we're on the right layer, I hope. I think. I'd check, but I'm scared. I feel like I get hyper focused on these flats. Just like head empty, only flats. So you guys will have to listen to the sweet musings of my loud computer fan and the lo-fi playlist while I attack these hands. The closer we get to the full color and all the shading, the more nervous I am about all this line work. Like, I'm like, it looks so good. It looks so good and I'm so happy with it and we worked so hard to get here. And then I'm like, how are we gonna do that? Like, it worked out really well on the last piece. But also, the last piece was a One Piece character, and One Piece has a lot of intense line work, so that's easy to navigate. I mean, I guess now my art just has intense line work while I'm in the club. Okay, I'm going to take a minute to clean up some of these lines from the dress that are just kind of like going on to the fingers a little, because it's annoying me. And then after that, I'll take a minute to just clean up the skin tone just a tiny bit, because there are a little, like, couple holes. And there are a few teeny tiny places where the purple's overlapping. There's not a huge need to be a perfectionist here, but I have to be, I can't be stopped. I also feel like if I lay down my flats really well, then it'll take less time when I have to do like other parts of the drawing. Then if I miss a couple spots when I'm doing actual shading, it's not as big of a deal. Okay, so now I'll put the hair layer over all of this. It's either gonna be this color, which might be, we'll see here, that kind of shading, or I think the first one is a bit more cool toned, so I'm probably gonna go with that because it's kind of what we're aiming for, and then I can always adjust as needed. Oops, that's the wrong one. Almost erase all of that. And I'm going to make sure Drawing Assist is on this time, for real. I'm actually going to turn off that skin tone layer so that it's just a little bit easier to see. Sometimes with like a really light colored hair, I feel like it's hard to go over a light colored skin. Actually, a lot of times I'd use like a yellow sort of highlight for that type of skin, so that's probably why it's hard to see. You could totally do this the easy way of just, you know, doing the outline and then filling it in, but why would I do that? Okay, I actually think this entire part here is filled in. That's the other thing about flats, is that now I have to interpret my line work. Are you kidding me? Remember, like, way back in the day, there was an artist on DeviantArt that I followed who asked people if they could, like, color this, I think it was an Utau they had made in the, like, Vocaloid box art style. Like, I think the artist is K-E-I. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. It's been a long time. And I gave it a go. Because that style was like manageable for me at the time. And I remember their line work was so beautiful and crisp and clean and like easy to interpret. And I look at my line art and I'm like, I can't even interpret this sometimes. Like, how did they manage that? Like, it's probably been over 10 years and I still think about that. Like, how? Okay, well, this is coming together. I mean, it's also like a, oh wow, look at me drawing another blonde character moment. I actually have to be stopped. I think I'll probably end up changing her hair color just to like literally anything else because listen, I have one OC that I'm messing with right now and I love her too much. I keep giving her new trauma, and it's so fun for me, but I just gotta stop. I gotta stop drawing her. This wasn't even supposed to be her, but nope. I took her color palette, so I should really change it up or like color it a different kind of style. To be fair, I think I can kind of make it into more of like a gray sort of thing or like a gray purple sort of gradient and then it won't look so blonde. But laying down the flats, boy, sure is the same thing I do every time. I am a one-trick pony indeed. Oh, thank you. Welcome back, by the way. Glad you popped in. Okay. Hopefully getting this hair color down won't take too much longer. Alright, I'm going to just take a minute and erase the parts where I can see I really got outside the lines. And then I'm going to get outside the lines even more. Okay. We're so close. I think we have maybe 2 more sections after this, the ones in the front and that one just to the left. Definitely think we can get these flats done today. In the meantime, I'll try and think of a little story to tell you guys. I say that and my head immediately just goes blank. Like the blankest it's been in days. Oh, okay. So, I've definitely mentioned on past streams, okay, that I've been, like, I got on Tinder at some point. So I've been talking to a guy, and he sends me videos of his cat. He has, like, the most photogenic cat I've ever seen, and her name is Evie. She's so cute, and she's just, like, sitting by the window, or, like, he sent me a video of her just, like, eating his watch. It was so adorable. And he's been playing, like, a little... It must be an indie game, because I hadn't heard of it before. And usually I feel like I hear about, like, the big titles. It's called Tunic. And it's an Xbox game, I think. And it, like, the main character is this little fox. And the graphics are so, like, aesthetic and pretty. And he sends me these little videos of it where he, like, explains what's going on in the game, and it, like, just, like, shows, like, a boss fight or, like, a new area or whatever. It's so cute. It's honestly, like, the most fun I've had in a long time, because, like, I don't know, it's so hard to meet someone who's, like, into, like, games or anime, and then, like, actually like will be the person who, like, reaches out all the time. 'Cause I know that I'm like super bad at being like, hey, every day. So it's nice to have someone who like actually does that. He does not watch my stream, so it's good. I can talk about whatever I want. But yeah, I really have been enjoying that. And I feel like, you know, as long as you're old enough or whatever, it's actually like really nice to try dating apps. Because before it felt like, well, this is dumb, I'm not going to do that. No, it's a good experience. Okay. And I think we'll throw some color on the eyeball. Okay, listen, there are two vibes for this eyeball. And the vibe could either be it's completely black, or it's the other vibe is it's a normal eyeball. So I think what I'll start with is starting with it completely black. I'm gonna make sure this is like an actual black. It's not. I didn't know that. Well, I'll put it on an actual black then. I stole this grayscale palette from the internet because I was too lazy to make my own and I wanted to try grayscale painting. But now I know. And I guess stole is the wrong word. It was up on a website, like, as a free download, but the link was broken, so I just, you know, took a screenshot of the image and did the thing. So, stole is the wrong word. Okay. Now let's see here. I'll just do that. I'm just trying it the other way to make sure that if I wanted to, I could have this be white. I'll just put on drawing assist, it's easier. It would be nice to do like a GIF or whatever where it like changes the color of the eyeball or has like some glowing stuff, but I find that GIFs just export in terrible quality. Even you can see like on my stream or whatever, the GIF quality is pretty bad. And I mean, like, I know you have to, like, compress the image or whatever, which is why you save artwork in PNG format. It's to avoid compression. JPEG is a format which compresses down a file. So if you've ever seen the, like, okay, well, what format do I save my art file in? The reason why you save in PNG, or why a lot of people will say to save in PNG, is because PNG is a lossless file. But for photographers, they save usually in, this is wrong, in JPEG because it does compress the file so it saves on like storage space. And I'm sure there are other reasons, but I'm not a photographer, so I don't know all of them. But with art, you don't want to do that because you'll lose quality. And you'll also lose things like transparency. So if you are trying to sell like a transparent sticker, that's going to be a problem for you. I think I'm going to keep it this way because I think this looks more like, well, if I did this like dark blue, let me just, here's the thing, right? If I take this that. I think that could be cool. I think what I might actually do is I might leave it black and then kind of like shade it with the dark blue to kind of like bring in light and like make it look more like a sphere, like more 3D. Make it look more like a sphere. It's a circle. It's a circle, girl. Okay. But then make it look more three-dimensional. That way it kind of looks similar to an evil eye. I mean, that looks cool, but I think this is the route to go. Right now it just looks like a magic 8-ball. Whatever. Okay. Alright, so I'll leave it like that, and then I need this light blue here. I think I'm definitely gonna have to redo this like hair color stuff. So, okay. Here's my white. I'll lay this down on this one. This actually needs to be under the hair color layer, I guess. Right above. Okay. I'm actually probably gonna remove that little bit of excess white there. Well, maybe not. We'll see. So I'm going to remove the drawing. Well, actually, I'm going to leave the drawing assist on, duplicate the layer, and go back to black. And then I will remove drawing assist for real this time, erase that eye, and turn that one back on. And then in the middle of these layers, actually I should make sure this is fully erased. Okay, then in the middle of these layers, all I'm gonna do is go in with that light blue I had before and put it down on the eye. I do think I'm going to change a couple of these colors here. I like that it matches the evil eye or whatever, but I don't like that it's Dahlia's color palette and she's all I ever draw. I need to get out of my comfort zone, draw someone different, like literally. It's okay. Well, we'll just kind of quickly figure out the roses, and then I can lament about my hair choice. I wonder if I could use these 3 colors for hair from Lilia's color palette. Those are too similar. Bringing this in. Okay, I can keep these. But is it that one, or is it gonna be the orange that looks the best? It's gonna be the light pink that looks the best, even though I want to do the orange. I think I might incorporate the orange somewhere, but I'll do the light pink probably. What if I just lie to you and I just do the orange anyway? Yeah, I might end up doing that. Let me just play with this for a minute. Until I kind of blend these. Yeah, I think that looks better. Okay, well here's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna lay down 1, 2. I'm gonna take this one, select, this has the orange on it. Okay, then I'm just gonna go through and find the holes. So every time you use the select tool for this instead of a clipping mask, it always ends like this. I should just do a clipping mask. I'll do a clipping mask. It's easier. Okay, so new layer, clipping mask. Yeah, that might just be a hole in the actual hair. Might have to put the clipping mask on assisted. Yeah. I'm very new to using clipping masks. Like, I like them. I'm just not great at them yet. Let's try this. Yeah, that might be better. And then I could probably put the orange just kind of on the ends, like as a sort of gradient. It's probably a bit far up. Okay. So now we have that orange sort of on there. I don't know that I'll keep it, but it, you know, it's there. Maybe I'll put a little here. Okay. You can just see how much of a mess that is. I love it. Okay. So now I said I was going to do the roses, which will have to kind of be over everything. So yes, layer 23, drawing assist. And I wonder if, so I have the Untitled palette with all the pinks. I always end up using the NSFW bits palette for like random pink things. But I think I might end up kind of going with these colors. I'll probably end up cleaning up a lot of these. I think what I'll end up doing here is just filling these in. Going back into the line art, cleaning them up a little, and then I'll probably do a clipping mask on them. This is ending up much warmer than I thought it would be, but that's okay. I've been doing a lot of like cool toned things for the past forever, so it's probably good to do something warm. Okay. We are gonna clean things up as we go. There's the dog. He's saying hello. Hi. He just ate and now he's very happy. He also smells exactly like his dog food. I can smell his breath from here. I feel like, you know, the thing about pets is like, okay, listen, I love my dog and his stinky, stinky breath. But if anyone else in the whole entire world came at me with like that level of stanky breath, we're not talking anymore. We're not friends anymore. And like, I'm including myself in that. Me, when I wake up in the morning and I smell my offensive morning breath, I'm running from myself. And that's my daily exercise goal. Okay, well that's looking alright. I do kind of think it would be cool to make it translucent, especially up in this area. So I'm gonna do the rest on a different layer. The nice thing about making sure that I was using a rounded brush for this is that I can kind of create extra petals using just the brush. Because there are like flat square shaders in the Azulum pack, which are good. Or I guess it's like a, I don't know what it is. What is it? It is the, yeah, quick, color quick flat square. It's a good brush, but it's just not what I need right now. I kind of wonder if I should just fill that little gap in. Yeah, I think that looks alright. And we'll come over here. Okay. Now I'm just gonna fill in flowers for a long time. You know how this goes. I start filling in the flowers, I get real quiet. I am really happy with the way these turned out. I do think, you know, they're like a bit messy, but it's also kind of nice. I really want to go this year to the book. I said at the beginning of stream, you know, it's one of those days you just can't speak your own language. But I want to go this year to the botanical gardens and try to take some nice pictures to use as references. Because, like, every now and then I'll pull out a gardening book, and that's helpful, but the pictures are really limited since it's more about, like, oh, well, if you have a house or a garden that's shady, you should plant these type of flowers. If you have one that's sunny, you should plant these. These are perennials and these are annuals. It's more like that type of book versus like really a book of just pictures of flowers. And then too, like, if I really wanted to do a study, I could do one of those studies where you start by tracing the image and then go and draw the image. And I'd feel comfortable doing that with my own reference. That's a photo that I've taken versus, you know, something you just found online. I feel like that's not something that I personally really like to do. I don't think... So here's my thoughts on tracing. Tracing is not inherently bad. It's a good way to learn. But if you traced the thing, you shouldn't post the thing. I know, like, times are a-changin', you know, and people have different opinions. And you don't have to agree with me. But, I don't know. For me, it's not something I'm gonna do. And hey, maybe I'll change my mind, you know. Everyone's entitled to change their mind, but for me right now, I just don't feel comfortable doing that in my own artwork. Unless it's a reference that's also mine, because then it would all still be my art. Is this color? Yes, it is. This is one of those interesting things in color theory or whatever, where it's like, oh, that looks different over there than it looks over here. No, I just need to erase that line on the whatchamacallit. Yeah. This chair is a little squeaky, but you know what? I'm not gonna complain because, like, it's a nice chair. And I could probably just, like, not move around as much, not squeak it as much. I will once again admit I am the problem. I guess it's probably good to kind of like wiggle around just a little bit though, because staying still for so many hours is not good. Then I'm probably gonna go upstairs once I'm finished with the stream and like work on something else. Or well, more likely, jeez. The tongue tied today is just out of control. But more likely what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go play my stupid One Piece game that I downloaded months ago and have been addicted to. Like, Bounty Rush or whatever it's called came out, and then it was unlicensed, so it got taken off the App Store. But somehow people are still finding it and they're still making new servers. And it's a good game and I really like it. But also, can we like merge some of like the early servers? Because my server's dying. Like, and even in the cross server events, there's not ever an active chat. Not that I am like a big chat person in games, but it would be nice to see it like where it was, you know, closer to when it came out. Please, I don't want my One Piece game to die because I don't like the other ones. Treasure Cruise is awful, and the other 3D one I don't like because it's too much co-op mode. And also I just can't start a new gacha game. I can't start another gacha game because I don't like to spend money in games. I never spend money in games. And it's a real commitment to have to go get your favorite boy in every game when you're free to play. I got time, man. I got time, and I'll do it. But I don't want to. Like, last time I went hard in a gacha game was, on my birthday. I logged into Utapri because I was like, I want my birthday stuff, and there was a Ranmaru event going on, and I'm like, you're joking, because I hadn't logged in for a while, and there were like 4 hours left, so I was like, okay, I have 4 hours to get my UR, so I played for 4 hours straight. I didn't stop, I didn't take any breaks, and I got my Ranmaru UR. I got him. He's beautiful, I love him. I ended up with 2 copies. And usually I rank in like the top 100, usually like the top 50, and I'll usually stay in the top 20 as long as I can. But this time I was like, I'm just gonna do my best. I'm just gonna do my best and see where that gets us. But I, like, they're like, that's like the only game that I'm like actually crazy in. I'm like, oh, the event started? Cool, I'll stay up all night and I'll just use all of my LP that I saved up. It's so hard to be a stan. we're getting there with these flowers. They're close-ish. Okay, that is part of the flower there. I think potentially if I just figure out where all my flowers are, I can kind of figure out a way to make this easier on myself. I'm saying that, but I'm gonna do everything the hard way, I bet. Like, I haven't used the fill tool because, like, my relationship with the fill tool is partially just being too lazy to do things the way that makes the fill tool work. Like, and that's so dumb. It's so much easier to use the fill tool. I should just, like, do it the way that works with the fill tool, but I'm not going to. Okay. So close. So close to done. Because that little patch down there is gonna go pretty fast, I think. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Maybe I'm lying to myself. Okay. We're so close. Watch, I'll look at it and I'll be like, ew, it's so gross. It looks so bad. I erase this tiny bit here because it's gonna get totally lost. The fact that I needed to erase it if I don't do that now. Okay. And then over here. Okay. Now I just need to fill these guys in. Alright, okay, the roses are done. So, what I need to do now is I noticed there's a bit of orange missing on the hair down here. So I can just fix that really quick. I don't even need to blend it. But what I do need to actually fix, like fix, is there are spaces missing in the hair that you can see now that it's orange, so that must be missing on the main layer. Otherwise they'd show up on the clipping mask. Usually if I notice something is off, I just try to go fix it right away, because the longer I wait to fix it, the more likely I am to just forget about it, and then I'll see it when I think the drawing's all done, and I'll be like so annoyed that I gotta go fix it. This, we need to blend a little more on the clipping mask. There we go. Okay. We'll erase here, then we'll add the color. This is the kind of thing that I wish that you could see on all my Procreate time lapses, is just me spending so long doing this. Fixing, just going in, attacking the little like spots, because there are all these spots on my time lapses where they just look blank. It looks like absolutely nothing is going on, and this is what it is. It's just me going to the little spaces. Like, I wish there was like a tracking function on the Procreate time lapses. Like, you know, maybe it would take more data, but I wish you could turn it on, because like I said earlier, I hate screen recording. I always forget to turn it on, but like, and that's on me. So it's really nice to just have the time-lapse function there and be able to use it, but I don't know, like, I know that I need to really up my game on YouTube and TikTok and like even Twitter. I sometimes long for the days of like you posted to DeviantArt and you know, now everyone, you know, saw your shitty art and left you a comment. But it was so much easier to get exposure back in the day. Now it's really a struggle. And I mean, I think it's nice when people see your stuff and respond to it. So I just try to, you know, leave a comment on stuff where I can, but it's also hard because if you have, you know, like 300 mutuals, you run out of things to say, and you run out of time to say it, I imagine. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, I am nostalgic for the middle school DeviantArt era sometimes. And I'm also not, because there were some weird people. I was really shocked to see that DeviantArt implemented like commissions and subscriptions and like NSFW subscriptions. I mean, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, but I was not expecting it at all. Yeah, like, because they've always had like the core membership, which is like their subscription stuff, but I just didn't think they would. And they've always had an NSFW problem, but DeviantArt is never going to fix their NSFW problem. I think DeviantArt should embrace it or like make an offshoot website. Like the problem, like the biggest problem they have is like it doesn't like I don't think like on DeviantArt, right, you have to flag something as like mature content. It's similar to like YouTube or like really any other platform. Is this like mature content? And if you don't flag it, then it's shown to everyone and not just people who have, you know, the mature content filter off. And a lot of people don't flag their stuff because they don't want their account to not be like fully visible. If you produce mature content on a website that isn't like specifically for mature content, please flag your mature content. I get that it limits your range. I get that that really sucks. But there are people who don't want to see it and have legitimate reasons to not want to see it. Come on. Come on now. Okay. So, I'm gonna hide this clipping mask. Okay, cool. That gave me another clipping mask. And then I can attempt to do like some pinks. Pink here. That's what I want. Oh, oops. Is it? I'll do this color. Not sold on that. To be real with you, I'm not sold on it. Ah, well, that's the orange though. I'm just sort of playing around with this gradient for a minute here to see if I can adjust it to something. This isn't anything final, but I'm just kind of testing my colors. Let's just say that I went into the darker spaces. Oh, I need to put on drawing assist, don't I? With this. There's like a lot of line work, and then I'll start putting the purple down now. My pen's twisted a bit. I always get surprised when a song with like Vox comes on. least I think this is called Vox, like the vocal. No, I don't. I just feel like the orange is throwing me. Okay. What if I do... Might be too pink. Now we're just gonna sit here and play with hair colors. Huh. I'm sorry, I just went like completely silent. Oh boy. You can tell I'm stumped on the color scheme. I don't really like that. Maybe if I just kind of go into, well, if I, so okay, here's my trick that I do for this. If I want to do the color balance, I will take, why is my pen not working? Because we're on the clipping mask. So I'm gonna take this off the clipping mask. I know it looks awful. But I'll take it off the clipping mask. I think that was, I'll just take the pink from here. That should be okay. Okay. I'll put these here. I'll take it and I'll erase just a tiny bit. Just at the eyes and over here. You know, it looks messy. Okay. It's fine because it's normally on a clipping mask. Okay. So I'll take it and I'll take the color, not color balance, the curves. It's too bright. I don't know. I think this just won't be helpful. Ugh. Maybe we should just leave it. Maybe blonde is the only color I can draw. I do think this is like an interesting, like, reddish color, but I'm just not like, I don't feel like it goes well with the purple. I don't know that that makes any sense. I'm gonna duplicate this so I don't mess it up. Maybe I can lower this saturation. Oh wait, this brush doesn't lower opacity very well. Oh, I bet I know what I can do. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna put this clipping mask back on. This is probably a tomorrow kind of thing. I'll probably still just make an attempt here. I'm gonna do multiply, put it at 50% here. Just gonna see if my idea will work at all. It makes it very red. But it does kind of work. Sort of. I do kind of prefer it purple still. So I'll probably just kind of stick with this. Okay, for now I'm gonna take this off. I think we'll come back to it tomorrow, and then I can mess around with the hair and reevaluate and everything. Okay, so with that, I think we are just gonna call it a day from stream so that I don't go insane working on the hair. Thank you for everyone who stopped in and watched and said hello in chat. Really appreciate you guys. And also thank you to everyone watching the VODs. Hi! I see you guys and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Feel free to say hi on any of my social media, or, you know, pop into a stream if you catch one and say hi in chat as well. Or, you know, of course, you guys are more than welcome to just chill out and vibe. Either way, I appreciate people who come and watch. Also, always feel free, you know, you guys can tell me about like your OCs or send me a picture of your OC, and I might end up like doodling them on stream at some point. I am hoping to at some point here do like just kind of some sketching or like doodling or like drawing your OCs on stream, but I'm not sure when that's gonna be because this piece is taking so long. Either way, we'll get to that at some point. I'll try to make an announcement on Twitter. I don't know how well it'll go, and maybe I'll end up just drawing random shit. Either way, again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow, probably around 4 p.m. CST. Otherwise, I might end up doing an early stream around like 9 or 10 CST. I'll post on Twitter. Either way, bye!